It's working now. I am live on Facebook finally. I'm sorry it took so long to get it sorted out. Hi, I'm back live. Sorry, I'm really sorry about this. I've had some camera issues and I couldn't manage to make it work on Facebook, and then I had to stop Instagram. Anyway, so I think we're here now and I can start talking. So I'm going to start again. Hi, I'm Mel from Rapper Sling Library, and I'm here to tell you what the best sling is. So when it comes to choosing a sling for your baby and your family, you have an overwhelming amount of choices, like really overwhelming. There's really quite a lot, and it can be a bit frustrating. It can be overwhelming. It can make you feel like you just don't know where to start. What would be the best one for you? What would be the best one for your family? But the main thing to remember is that there are no best slings. So the best sling would be the one that is going to work for you and your family, the one that you're going to find to be the most comfortable, the one that you find is the easiest to use, and that meets your needs and your baby's needs. So there isn't a best sling. There is no need to spend hundreds of pounds on a carrier. You don't have to do this. You don't have to buy the most expensive carrier or sling or wrap to have the best comfort. It won't be the best. Woven wraps likewise can be very, very expensive. They can go up in hundreds and they may not actually work for you. You may not find them actually that comfortable. Full disclosure, I have some very high-end wraps that I like very much, and they're very expensive, but I don't find them to be the most comfortable. Sometimes I like just mid-range, even low-range wraps that work totally fine. So one thing you need to think about when you buy a sling is how long you're going to use it for. And it's very hard to tell because it's very hard to know how long you're going to carry your baby for, how big your baby's going to get, how you're going to feel in your body. But it's worth thinking about, should you go for something cheap at the beginning and then move on to something that may be a bit more expensive, but that will last you longer? Or should you get something that's going to last you years, because there are slings that will last you for years. So it's very hard to decide, and you don't have to decide straight away. It's okay to try loads of different slings on and then see what's going to work for you. Don't feel pressure to just buy loads and loads of different slings. Just try one to see how it works for you, see how it works for a few months when your baby's newborn, and then think about moving on, or just buy one that will last you for years. So there are slings like this. So woven wraps will last you probably 5 years. There are some buckle carriers that will last you years and years as well. So you can try like this, or you can go for something very lightweight at the beginning, and that works for newborns, that will last you a few months, and then move on to something else. Sometimes if you have a partner or even a nanny or granny who's going to want to carry the baby as well, they may not find what you've chosen to work for them. Either they just, if you've chosen a wrap, they might like wrapping, or they might find that the carrier you've chosen doesn't work for their back or their ability, where they can reach on their body to unclip or clip something. So sometimes you might have to. Again, you don't have to spend hundreds of pounds to get the best thing. You can buy second-hand. There's loads of second-hand slings out there, so really go for it. Go on the second-hand market and see what you can buy for your money. And also, they just feel like for you, you might not feel like you're really committing to something that you may not be using for very long. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is talk to you through options. So there are loads and loads of options. You don't have to try all the options on, but you can try one, see how it works, try another one. That's why there are sling libraries. That's why we're here to help you, and we really love our job and we really like helping you. So please come and see us. Try as many as you want until you find the one that works for you. So I'll go through different types. I'll do a quick demo. This is not a tutorial, this is just quick demos to show you how they work and how to put them on. And then after that, you can, if you want to hire anything from me, you're really welcome to. I'm based in Bethnal Green in East London. Otherwise, go to your nearest sling library. If you want to buy anything, I retail a lot of slings, lots of brands, so let me know because I can get you discounts. And it's very important when you just had a baby. Right, so let's start with stretchy wraps. So stretchy wraps is basically a wrap that stretches. And there are loads of brands out there, okay? I would say when it comes to stretchy wrap, don't go and buy the first cheap one you see on Amazon, because often they're very hard to work with, they're very thin, they're not the greatest. So if you want to go for recommendation, I'm really happy to recommend some brands. I really like Boba wraps because they're very stretchy and they're very easy to work with. Also Izmi wraps, Hannah wraps, Je Porte Mon Bébé, which are just kind of stronger type of wraps and might be a bit more long lasting, or Calin Bleu wraps, which are very thin. I don't know if I've got one here. Hard to tell from the video, but these are like super thin wraps, and they're really great for the summer because they're really lightweight. I like Boba wraps because they stretch a lot and they're very easy to work with, and they have got a high upper weight limit of 15 kilos, which means that it's supposed to wait for quite a long time. How long you're going to use your wrap for really depends on your baby, how big your baby gets, and what kind of support your wrap offers. The Je Porte Mon Bébé one, I don't know if I have one here. I think they were on higher. They're very strong, so harder to work with, but when they're here, they really stay and they can last up to a year, maybe even more. I've carried my youngest in for a year in the Je Porte Mon Bébé. These Bobas, depends, few months, depends how big your baby gets. You get a sense that your wrap is not supportive anymore. When your baby bounces too much, it's giving you pain on your shoulder, and you'll just get a sense that I need something that is more supportive so it doesn't bounce as much. So I will say always go for a two-way stretchy wrap, so stretches that way and that way, over a one-way stretchy wrap that don't stretch that way, because they're a lot easier to learn with and a lot easier to work with. You can just take your baby out and then put your baby straight back in without having to do any retying, and they're a lot more forgiving. So I'll do a quick demo. Lots of different ways to use it. You can breastfeed in pretty much everything I'm going to show you as well. So breastfeed or bottle-feed, obviously. So you're going to start with the middle mark on your chest. Gather the fabric. Going to go to your back and cross like this. So I'm just going to move this camera here, sorry. And then bring the towels over your back. Second towel, make sure you don't roll the fabric so everything's nice and flat. And then we're going to bring these towels through the pocket pass. Grab them and then bring them through like that. And then here you want to leave just enough room for your baby. So this is what takes a little bit of practice, okay? Don't worry, you will get there. Just sort out this camera, sorry. It takes a bit of practice, but don't worry. What I do is I do the hands in crane shape test. So I bring my hands through like this, in this shape, and then just feel how snug it feels. If that feels nice and snug, it should be suitable and comfortable and supportive for your baby. Just change this light, it's not working. Okay, if it's still too loose, you're just going to pull up and then bring the slide down. So we should be good here. I'm going to close my carry, I'm going to cross my tails on my front, and then you can either tie at the back depending on the length, or you can bring it across your lower back and give yourself some nice support here. So I'm just going to pull as much as I want. That helps bring my pelvis back together, and it's very nice and comfortable when you just had a baby. Don't think of the fabric that like there's too much of it, okay? Just ignore the length. Don't think about it, just tie your wrap. It's not that faffy. I'm going to bring my baby in, so I'm going to make some room here. I'm going to bring my baby on the shoulder of the pass that's on the outside. So let's grab my baby. Hello, Pablo. Bring baby here, support. I'm going to bring my hand under. I'm going to grab the leg, guide my baby down, keep supporting, make sure you support the head at the same time. I'm going to push the fabric and bring the leg through like this. And then I'm going to make sure my baby's bum is lower than her knees in what we call the M-shaped positioning. This promotes healthy hip development, but also it means that it's just a lot easier for my baby to support their weight. And then I'm going to make sure my baby's close enough to kiss the top of the head, so I can see airways and mouth and face all the time, okay? Airways should be always clear. It's very important. I'll bring arms towards the face, especially for small babies, because that is the stimulation. Also when they sleep, you can just pop their fist lie down under the head. That helps you hold the head. And I'm just going to cross the passes. So I grab the passes inside and I twist the fabric. So I grab my rail on my arm and spread knee to knee all the way to the neck. And I do that as well. And the reason why I twist the fabric is that not only is it nice and comfortable, but it helps the fabric stay away from the face. I'm just going to grab pocket pass over the first leg, over the second leg, and bring the label all the way to the neck. Maximum top panel under the earlobe, nothing higher, nothing lower. For newborns, that will give them some support. Then here, if I want extra head support, I can grab like a muslin cloth, something like that. The bubble wraps come with their own little pockets, and you can just bring this like this, and then my baby turn their head, they're just well supported. When your baby sleeps, make sure you support the back of the head, so you can do that, and make sure you can fit 2 fingers under the sheet. It is fabulous. I know, Annabelle. 2 fingers between chin and chest, so we make sure baby's breathing fine. For yourself, make sure you spread the fabric as much as possible, giving you lots of support. Stretch wraps are very long, so it's one size fits all. Usually that's not an issue at all. Yes, you might have more length if you're quite petite, but who cares? You just like wrap it and give you lots of support on your lower back. You'll find that's really nice and lovely. Okay, I'm going to take my baby out now. So I'm going to do that. Pop over, support, and then lift my baby out. I can use it for breastfeeding, so very quick demo. There are lots of videos on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see feeding in Sling, head out over there. Tutorials for stretchy wraps and everything. You can do that. Support your baby. When you feed in slings, make sure you've got support from knee pad all the way to the neck if possible. It's okay if it's not all the way to the neck, but you still need to support, okay? So like cross cradle or like this, or cradle. Support the back of the neck, not the head. Don't push forward, okay? So we know that the head is free and your baby can push away when they want to. Bring hands to the breast so baby can cup the breast and push away. And make sure you can see the nose the whole time, okay? But that gives you a lot of support. Use that. You can't ignore your baby and go off hands-free. It's very, very important to keep the whole time monitoring your baby. It's very important. But that gives you some relief on your shoulders, and it's nice. And so if you're in the street and your baby wants to feed, you don't have to stop. You can just even do it standing up if you have to. So, so it's really, really handy. Okay, so that's the stretchy wrap. As you can see, it's ready to go. So when I want to put my baby back in, straight back in, and I don't have to redo it. You can just put it on in the morning and then you're good to go for the rest of the day. That is one option out of all the options. So I'm going to take this off. And obviously there's lots of different ways to feed as well. I don't have time to show you that in this tutorial, but there's lots and lots of different ways to do that. And we can see what works for you, or you can watch the videos. If you like the idea of the stretchy wrap, but you think wrapping way too much for me, I don't like this, it's okay. It's okay to not like it. Okay, you don't have to like it. It's good to try, but if you don't like it, it's alright. Then you can go for a close cabot. So close cabot is, you can see, close cabot is basically like a stretchy wrap that's already tied for you, so you don't have to do the tying. You're going to bring this over your head, and you're going to bring the cross on your back quite low down, like this, roughly, so that gives you some nice support. Don't have it too high up because that can give you a bit of pain neck. And then you see I've got these rings on the side, so I can control how much tension I need, and I can loosen and retighten very easily. Before you put your baby in, leave again just enough room for your baby, so we can do the hands in prayer shape thing. So that should be good. If you make it too tight, it might be difficult to bring baby in. If you make it too loose, which most people do, then you have to pull, and then the rings will come very close to the knee. So it's really worth sizing a little bit before you bring your baby in. Same system as with the stretchy. Bring your baby on your shoulder, burping position. Now I'm going to guide the leg through. Keep supporting baby's head. Let the bum drop immediately, always, so baby's well positioned. With small babies, so that works for all slings, don't spread out the hips, okay? Just let your baby sit in a natural position. When they're tiny newborn, it might mean that the knees dig into the belly a little bit, but don't worry, as they get bigger, they start opening up. You really don't want to force the hips open. This baby is about 3 months old, so that's why the hips go like this. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to grab the inner pass, so it's this one. And if I have the full version of the Kaboo, I can twist again, just like with the Stretchy. With the Kaboo Light, you might find it a bit tricky to do, so you can just spread straight, but make sure you don't cover the face. Like that, and I'm just going to retighten. I need to use my outer pass because I need more support across the back. Also, that gives me a bit of support for the neck. Bring it around, tighten, make sure it is nice and tight, double knot on the back. Like this. And there you go. It's a bit quicker. Main difference between the Stretchy, obviously, you have the rings. Some people don't like them. That's okay if you don't like them. You can wear it upside down with the rings here, or you can wrap this tail around so it doesn't dig. You don't have lower back support, so you might want to get like a scarf, something to give you some lower back support, especially after giving birth is very important. What's nice about it is that you can control the tightness and looseness a lot more easily, so you don't have to calculate as much as with the Stretchy wrap. If you go to my YouTube channel, I've made a whole comparison between Stretchy and Kaboo, so you can see the tutorial and make up your own mind and see what would work for you. They're really great for breastfeeding, so you can just loosen like this, and then you can just feed here, or if you bottle feed like this, you can sit your baby sideways as well for bottle feeding. Lots of different options for breastfeeding, but it's quite a quick way to do it compared to the Stretchy. Okay, these two will last you a few months. Eventually, again, your baby will grow out of them. But I can't tell you when this will happen. That depends how big your baby gets and how you're feeling in your body as well. Okay, so that was Kaboo and Stretchy. I'm going to show you a ring sling. So ring slings, I call them the Marmite slings. You're going to either love them or hate them. And it's okay if you hate them. I really like them, but not everybody gets on with them. They do take a little bit of practice getting the positioning right, but once you get it going, it's really great. Okay, so it's basically a woven wrap with a pair of ring system. You bring them from my head like that. Start with the rings a bit high up. As you pull, they come down and spread the fabric on your back. Leave just enough room for your baby, so this will be a bit tight. I'm going to loosen a bit. Small babies, we carry them on the front. As they get bigger, they can go to the back. Likewise with the Kaboo and the Stretchy, you can also do hip carries, but it's not really recommended for back carries. So I'm going to sit my baby. Again, very important to position correctly. So bum lower than the knees. For good positioning, close enough to kiss, support baby, and then we're going to bring the pass across the back like that. Make sure the knees are aligned, so same height, and let your baby sit really low down. Make sure you're not putting any pressures on the knees, okay? So you want gathered fabric right behind the knee pit like this, so it's not digging in or cutting blood supply. Same with the top, gathered but not too tight. But this is too loose, so we're going to guide the slack. I'm going to retighten and then tighten diagonally. The back has got to be nice and tight. Again, for small babies, we want head support, so you can roll this, slide this over if you want to, or you can use something a bit thinner, because sometimes I can push the head a little bit if it's quite a thick ring sling, and then like that again. With small babies, it's very important to give them some extra head support if possible. But it's really nice and lovely. I can spread the fabric on my shoulder if I want. Some are pleated, so this is a gathered shoulder, so pleated ones don't spread as much. What you like is entirely up to you. So it's very, very personal. Very handy for feeding, so I can just loosen, bring baby to the breast. I can also sit my baby and bottle feed. I can do a cradle, I can do lots of different things for feeding. But remember to always carry your baby upright. You should never carry your baby like that. That's okay if you want to feed, that's okay. But then you need to bring your baby back upright, always, always. Babies' neck are very soft. They can't support their own head. If the head is down like that, the baby can suffocate. It has happened. You need to be very careful. So always follow safety. You can find online the TICS safety guideline for baby wearing, or feel free to message me, I'll send you a copy. If you're not sure, you can always message me or send me pictures to check positioning and safety. Very important to think about this. Right, so ring slings are really great. They're also great for carrying shopping. So if you get caught short, it rolls very small, put it in your bag and carry your shopping in it. It's really handy. You can front, hip and back carry with them. They will last you for quite a while. And the main thing is that you have a bit more weight on the shoulder than another, but you use your whole body to carry. So it's not just all the pressure on one shoulder. So as long as you put it correctly, you're spreading out, you can even do like different tricks to relieve pressure from the neck. It's really great, very easy to work with, but it takes a bit of practice. Okay, let me just plug my computer. Because very typically I'm running out of battery. Right, sorry about that. Okay, good to go. Now, if you like wrapping with the stretchy wrap and eventually your baby feels too heavy for the stretchy, then you can move straight to woven wrap, or you can start straight from the beginning. A woven wrap is going to last you maybe 5 years. I still carry my 6-year-old in wovens, although he's quite heavy now. I still do it because it works and it's totally fine. So I'll do a quick demo. There's 100 different ways of using a woven wrap. The main difference from the stretchy is that it doesn't stretch. So you've got a little bit of diagonal give, but otherwise there's no bounce. They're really, really lovely. They're so versatile. You can just do pretty much everything with it. You can carry 2 kids, you can do loads and loads and loads, and they're very, very long lasting. You don't have to spend hundreds of pounds to get a nice woven. I'm going to show you one carry, but there's lots of different ways. So this is called the front right cross carry. It's very similar to what we do with the stretchy, but it's inside out. So start like this, cross. Again, make sure you don't twist your fabric. Bring it across your back. And then we're going to leave just enough room for our baby. Just checking, sorry, the comments here. Thank you for the lovely comments. Okay, so going to bring the baby on your shoulder. I think we have a visitor here. Hold on. What do you want, Sebastian? Wait, okay. Sorry, we live, so this is we will get little visitors. Okay, you good, Sebastian? Right, okay, bye. Okay, sit your baby on the band like this. Support. And then we're going to bring the fabric across the back, all the way to the neck. And I'm going to pin the tail that's on top, this one for safety. So that holds my baby quite well already. And I'm going to tighten the undertail. So I'm going to pull the fabric away from me, the top rail, bring it back, and then tighten, like this. Keep your tension. Very important with wovens to keep tension. I'm going to do the same here, so pull away and bring the tension to your front. Last little wiggle, remove any slack. I'm going to go under the bum, cross, and then go and tie the back. If it's very long, you can cross on your back and come back and tie at your front. You can use sling rings as well, like this. Let me try to find one. So you can use rings like that if you don't want to do double knot. Sometimes they're quite bulky. You can use that to close it. Again, tutorial on my Facebook page. Okay, so I can carry like this, one layer. I can spread the passes if I want to. So I'm going to grab the inner pass and I'm going to grab the bottom rail of my arm and I'm going to spread and spread like this. So it's nice and comfortable. What do you want, Sebastian, now? Yes, it's working. Yeah, just take wherever you want, okay? It's fine. Okay, it's really nice and comfortable. There's no bounce, so it's just really holding my baby in place. And I can back carry my baby's bigger, do hip carries. Put your kids in it. It's really lovely. You can breastfeed in it, you can bottle feed. One disadvantage compared to a stretchy wrap is that every time you take your baby out, you will have to reduce some of the carry depending on what wrapping carry you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to take my baby out. Woven, I'm totally 100% for them. Not everybody like them because it takes a bit of practice getting the tension wrap. It's totally up to you. Could you do a carry? Could you carry newborn? Yes, absolutely you can. You can even carry premature babies. So when it comes to wovens, that's a whole different tutorial. There's a lot to talk about. You might want to go for a wrap that's quite thin, so you don't want to go for a very thick wrap. So I'm going to show you a difference between a very thick wrap and a very thin wrap. So this is the thicker one I have. It's about 400 grams per square meter, and you see in my hand, I can barely close it. And if I take a very thin wrap, this is around 200. See, there's a lot more space here. So you can absolutely carry newborn from birth. That's not a problem at all. But you want to make sure. Hey, it's a book. Yeah, that's right. Can you go with Horizon, please? But you might want to twist the fabric around the bottom so that there's no too much bulky fabric around the knees. But you can absolutely do that. Yes, that's totally fine. Okay, so let's keep going. If you like the idea of the woven, but the tying is just too much for you, don't like it, too complicated, fine, we've got a solution. It's called Made-I. It's made from a woven wrap, and you can put it on like an apron. You can roll it so that it is at the height baby. And we're going to cinch the bottom a bit. We're going to bring the baby in. Sit your baby. Again, don't spread the hips if your baby's tiny. Bring the panel. This is just a bit of a headrest. I'm going to flip one towel over, switch hands, pull down, pin the fabric between my knees, and I'm going to do the same here, like this. And I'm going to cross, bring the tails across like that. Give me extra support. If you don't want to, you go straight under the bum. It's up to you. I'm going to go to your back and then you tie here. And this feels pretty much like a woven because it is made from a woven wrap, just like ring slings are made from woven wrap. I can spread the fabric on my shoulders, but I can also have them padded. I can have hood, headrest, different cinching. So this one has got cinching inside, at the bottom, sorry. So I can cinch the bottom a bit to make sure I'm covering knee to knee. And you can front, hip and back carry. They're very, very versatile as well. You can do lots with Made-I's, but they're a bit easier to work than a woven wrap. So worth trying, always worth trying. You can feed in them as well. It's totally fine to do. You've got also for Daddies, so another Asian style carrier. Very similar to the Made-I, but with this one you don't have a base. So you can just put it on like this, and you don't have a waist belt because some people don't like waist belts. Stick baby in and then cross. I'm not going to demo absolutely everything because I'll be here forever. But again, you can front, hip and back carry. It gives you lots of options. So they all have their pros and cons. It's really worth having a chat with your mirror Sling consultant and see what you prefer. But these were great, so if you are trying to learn a back carry with a woven and you really find it difficult, this is a great way to learn as well. You can get what we call half buckle carriers. So with these ones, you have a waist belt with a clip at the bottom. So this is the Mama Ruga Podma. I'm just going to cinch it a little bit, and you put it on the clip. Like this, so giving you a bit more support than a thinner waist belt on the made-eye because see how thin they are, and some people don't like that, they prefer a bit more support. And then the system is the same, you bring your baby in, you cross and you go to the front. You can front hip and back carry and gives you more support. This one is a very particular half buckle because you can remove this and turn it into a podagi like this one. So if you decide you don't want a waist belt for lots of reasons, sometimes if you're expecting another baby, you want to carry your baby or toddler, you want no pressure around your belly, then you can do this with this polymer. You can also do it with the made-eye by removing the waist belt and bringing it into the straps. But so you've got lots of options. Everything is very, very flexible. When it comes to wovens and made-eyes and podagis, they're very versatile in that sense that you can just make it work for you and what you need at this time. Whether that means I don't want pressure on my belly, or my shoulders ache, what can I do? I want to spread, I want to not spread. It really fits your body. That's what's really nice about all these types of wraps and made-eyes. It will fit you and your baby's body, and it will fit your partner as well. Now when we're moving on to buckle carrier, that's another story. So they don't fit everybody. But let's talk to you about buckle carriers. Okay. So buckle carriers are very, very, very complex because there are so many. It's overwhelming. Like literally, I can't even keep up myself. So the one thing I will say with buckle carriers is please try before you buy. I know it's really easy to go into a baby shop, like I won't say names because I don't want to get into that, and you can go and try them there, and they will help you, but what they're going to do is help you buy the most expensive one. The most expensive carrier is not always the one that would be the best for you. Okay, so it's very important to remember that you really should try before you buy anything. Also, sometimes you may not be able to return it, or you bought it before your baby came and then you can't return it because it's been more than 2 weeks. So what I can just highly recommend is you try before you buy, and you can try before your baby comes, so you can use a demo doll to get an idea. But when your baby arrives, then it's a different feeling. So it's really worth trying again and see really, is this for me? What is your body like after pregnancy? Do you need more lower back support? You need to think a little bit about that. It's very important. What I would say is, just if you're not sure, even if you just use it for a day, try it. Also, one thing to remember with buckle carriers is that especially the more bulky ones, so like some of the Ergos or other brands, they may not fit tiny newborns, okay? So it's really important to bear this in mind. If your baby is very small and under the recommended lower weight limit, or even if your baby is within the lower weight limit but it is just too bulky, doesn't fit, you might have to use something different at the beginning, like a Kaboo or Stretchy, or we might want to add extra padding and inserts, or even just the bottom of an Ergo insert like this, so that it fits your baby. If this is the only thing you have, then it's fine. We're here to help you. We may not be able to do miracle with very small premature babies, but there are lots of options out there. But I know you all want to have, if you're pregnant, a baby shower, and sometimes they want to buy your carrier and they want to spend loads of money. Just get vouchers, or get a voucher to go see your local Sling consultant. It's better money, and I'm not here to sell anything because I'm not a selling person, but just please do try. So first thing you need to remember when it comes to carriers, always try to go for a wide base carrier and avoid narrow base carrier if possible. If you already have a narrow base carrier, it's fine, don't worry, we can fix it. So this is an All-Star Baby Bjorn, and you can see the base is quite narrow here. So that might work quite well with a newborn at the beginning. As your baby gets bigger, what's going to happen is that instead of having nice supported M-shaped positioning like that, as your baby gets bigger, the base doesn't support knee to knee, so the legs will be more straight, okay? It's not the end of the world, don't worry. If this is all you have, it's fine. We can do tricks, we can bring a scarf around to bring the legs up. There's lots of things we can do. If you can just avoid going for a narrow base carrier straight from the beginning, that's better. If your baby has a hip condition, and you're carrying a narrow base carrier, you can make it worse. Okay, so it's really worth having a good think. Usually when this is happening, there's a hip condition, and you're going to see various healthcare practitioners. They will tell you about using a wide base carrier. If your baby has different conditions, like you have to wear bars and boots or harnesses and stuff, it's fine. You can still carry your baby, and we're here to help you. If your baby's tube fed, we can help you. There's lots of different things we can do. It's quite rare that babies can't be carried in slings. Okay, so don't worry if there's any issues with your baby. If your baby can't have pressure on the stomach, we can sit them sideways. Lots of things. I'm going a bit off topic here, I'm sorry, but I just want to reassure you. So in terms of choosing a carrier, there's lots and lots of options. I've done a whole tutorial on my YouTube again, and it's also on my Facebook page, so you can go and watch it there. It's more in depth. You have two choices in terms of like how they work with adaptability. So this is a non-adaptable carrier. So this is the Chiller standard. It's really great, but it is quite wide. So I will need to bring an insert to make it narrower, so my baby doesn't have to sit in a split. So carriers that are non-adaptable, Chiller standards, Ergo 360 opposition, not the only is adaptable. So these are some of the ones that you will have to use with an insert like this. It's totally fine using an insert, and sometimes even in an adaptable carrier, if the baby is quite small or has low muscle tone or lots of different conditions like this, we might still have to use a bit of an insert at the beginning. One thing with the insert is that they do get quite warm because they're quite padded, and then you've got this on top, you've got your body heat, your baby's body heat, so it could get a bit warm. Generally, I say try to go for an adaptable carrier so it grows with your baby. Having said that, these are great, they last for a really long time, so that will work well into toddlerhood. But if you want something adaptable, so this is a very similar one, it's the Chiller Explore. So I'm going to show you what it looks like inside. You've got these poppers, so you can just make it grow with your baby. So it just adapts to the size of your baby. So adaptable carriers, there's loads and loads. The Chiller Explore, the Chiller Free to Grow, which is the same, but you can't carry facing out. So similarly, you've got the poppers inside. This one comes as mesh. Almost all of them come as mesh as well. So if you're having a summer baby or you're going to go into summer, you might want to think about getting a more lightweight one. So mesh is really great, it's more breathable. This is the Ergo Omni. So again, it's adaptable. You've got these Velcro tabs. So as your baby gets bigger, you make it wider and wider. Some have more like micro adjustments. So instead of having 1, 2, or 3 options, or only 2 or 3 options, usually 3. Some are more like micro adjustable. So this is the Boba X. I like this one, it's very long lasting. So you start small like that, and as your baby grows, you just bring the Velcro waist belt wider and wider. Once you reach here, you add these extenders, and that will last you quite a while, maybe 3 years sometimes. So it's worth having a think about what you want to do, how long you want to keep a carrier for. Are you okay to go for one that will last you a few months and then move on to something else that will last you longer? Or you can go straight for a really expandable one like a Boba X or Izara the one. They last quite a long time. Or do you want something more lightweight for the beginning? So you can go for something like this is an Ergo Embrace. So it's nice and lightweight. It's made from stretchy material, and it works really great for small babies because it's not very bulky, fits the body nicely, you can spread the shoulders, and you can even face out when your baby's a bit bigger. So something like this, or you can go for a Zen Sling from Mama Roga. Really great Zen Sling, I like them because they're quite long lasting, but they're totally adjustable. So it's the same thing as the poem I just showed you. So you start with bringing the waist belt in like this, and then you just make it grow wider and wider like this. And then obviously the height works. So the height grows up as well. So you've got different adjustments and you just make it grow with your baby like that. So it works quite nicely in that sense. With some other carriers, so this is the Beko Gemini. It's a firm favorite at Wrap a Hug, everybody likes it. So small baby headrest down, so baby gets bigger. You can bring the headrest up, so that's how it grows in height, and it grows in width as well. You just open it up as your baby gets bigger. So options. If you want something very lightweight, you can go for an Integra as well. So Integras are completely cinchable and rollable, so you can roll them up or down, and it grows with your baby, so you just roll as much as you need, and then the height goes higher, and then the base goes narrower or wider, and you can cinch it as well. Okay, so having said that, you can go for one carrier that will last you forever, or you can go for a cheaper one and then move on to something that will grow wider. The other thing you need to think about is whether you want to have the facing out option. So around the time your baby is maybe 5 months, you can start carrying them facing out. So facing out is totally up to you. You can decide whether you want to carry your baby facing the world or not. You don't have to. I've never carried my babies facing out, and I think they're pretty fine. You can also do a head carry like that, which kind of replaces facing out, and it's more long lasting because you don't have to turn them around after 20-30 minutes, and your baby can fall asleep like that. If your baby falls asleep facing out, you need to immediately turn them around, because otherwise the head will go down and the airways will be obstructed. So if you want to carry your baby facing the world, you have to have a carrier that offers that option. If you don't have it, then it will be very tricky to make your baby facing out. So you can go for an Ergo Omni, for instance. So you can see you've got buttons like that. So when you want to turn facing out, you bring the buttons on a narrow setting, so onto the grey buttons, and that means that your baby will be carried like this in the M-shaped position and not in a split, basically. So options, you've got the Omni, you've got the Beko Gemini, the Beko 8 as well. So when you face out, you just bring the poppers in, and then so your baby will be seated nicely. What else do we have? The Izmi as well, so it's a lightweight carrier that offers facing out. So you've got tabs in there, and you can make it narrower or wider, so you can open up, and you can face out with this one as well, but it's a very lightweight one, so it doesn't have to be very bulky. The Chula Explore, this one offers facing out. Again, you've got the same button system. So it's really worth having a chat with your Sling library and local consultant to see what's going to work for you. Also, it's important to try them on, and I'm going to demo why. So I'm going to put a Chula Explore on. So always on your waist, okay, not on your hips, because that is where it's supposed to be. It's a waist belt, and the clue is in the name. So I'm going to bring around through the elastic band for safety. Clip. I'm going to put that way to be tightened, make sure it's nice and comfortable, sitting on your hips. I'm going to put it on. So lots of people find clipping the chest strap, the thing that holds the strap together, a bit stressful, so I will say just leave it clipped on, and then you loosen your straps like this, a bit more, put it on, slide baby in. This is one way to put it on. There's lots of different ways, but if you don't like it like this, you can just put it on different ways. Lots and lots of different options, and we make it work for you and your physical abilities. So I've got my baby in. I may have put it on a wider setting, but never mind, this is just a demo. I'm going to bring the fabric back, and then I'm going to pull forward like this. So pull forward like this. Okay, this is really great. I love this carrier very much. However, once I want to loosen my carrier to take my baby out, I need to be able to reach under my armpit. So for me it's fine because I'm quite petite, and the Chulas work really well with petite people. If you're quite tall and your buckle is going right here, you might really struggle getting to it. And that's the same thing with the Ergo 360 all position. The buckles are towards the back. So if you're not able to reach here, then you won't be able to use it, because then I need to loosen and clip to take my baby out. Unless you're a yoga master and you can reach, a bit tricky. So really have a think about trying them, because if you have one and you can't reach, then you'll be a bit stuck. Or you can just go straight for one that has buckles right on the front. So this is the Ergo Adapt. So the Adapt and the Omni has got the buckles right here on the front. So it's really easy to loosen and then pull back. For some people, they find pulling the fabric back really difficult. So you might want to have options. So like on the bow bikes, for instance, you have what we call dual adjust. So you can either pull back or feed the webbing or pull forward. So either like this or like this. And you can choose how you do that, which is nice. It gives you lots of options. And different carriers offer different options. So like the Mama Ruga Zen Sling, for instance, same thing. You choose how you tighten. So you can start by loosening the front, and then when your baby's in, you just pull forward, or you can feed to the back. It's up to you. You do it the way that works for you. If clipping's not your thing, you can go for Velcro. This is the Marsupi. Not very well known carrier, but it's really nice. So there's no clip, nothing in the way, so it's quite nice in that sense. So you've got Velcro all over. I'm going to put it on. Like this, and then you bring your baby in. Just the legs. Like that. Okay. And there's no clipping, so you just bring your straps around, pull down, and then there you go. It's ready to go. Down and across, and there you go. Just gonna tuck this in. So no clips, nothing. Everything's on the front. Really easy to loosen or retighten. You just pull as much as you want, and then you retighten. You can have it crossed like that. So that's another option for you. If you don't like the clipping, then you can go for that. Alright, I'm going to stop talking now because I've been talking for ages and I'm exhausted. So yeah, try before you buy. If you have any disabilities, or you can't reach here, you've got pains here, you've got reduced mobility in your arms, then really try carriers before you buy and see what works for you. Are there any questions? Let me check. Feel free to post questions later. If you're watching this on replay or on YouTube, you can put questions in the comments. You can contact me anytime. I'm always happy to answer your questions. If you want to try something, please get in touch as well. We'll be starting Sling Libraries on the 4th of July. Hopefully, unless something happens again. If there's a second wave of infection, then we'll have to just give up for a while. If you want one-on-one, that's fine as well. Just comment and see me. Okay, so I've got a question. How does the library work? So the library, basically, we run it as like a day or several hours where everybody books appointments. So you have 10, 20 or 40 minutes depending on how much time you need, and this I assess when you get in touch. If you just want to try a stretch wrap-on or a ring sling, then 20 minutes is enough. If you want to try different types of slings or you have no idea where to start, then definitely 40 minutes. If you have your own sling or you want to just like quick troubleshoot, check that it's working fine or showing you like how to use it, then 10 minutes usually is enough. But this I will assess when you contact me. So you book an appointment, and within that appointment you've got a 2-week hire of a woven ring sling made out of carrier. If you go for a stretch wrap, it's 4 weeks included, so you don't have to pay extra. If you want to add more slings, you can hire as many slings as you want. It's quite flexible in that sense. Basically, you just tell me what you need and I'll just tell you how much time we need and what the cost will be. So the costs vary between £10 to £15, and then if you add more slings, it's £5 per extra sling. So obviously I show you everything, and then I'll signpost you to my videos, and you get free follow-up as well. So if you need anything, you have questions, you just get in touch and I'll just help you. You can send me pictures on WhatsApp. We can always do an online call if you're really struggling, or you can come back if you need more time. So basically that's how it works. And at the library, when you come, you can see all the slings. You can just try lots of different slings on. If you want to have more time, you can book a private consultation, which is a minimum of 1 hour. So you have more time, and obviously there will be nobody after you. So if you want to overrun, that's okay as well. And I also do a private consultation at people's homes, as long as it's not like miles and miles away. So usually in normal times, the Sling library is really sociable. We hang out, we chat, we talk about feeding, we talk about everything. We have peer supporters. Obviously now, because of the COVID, we have to be a bit more careful how we run things, so there will be special hygiene measures in place, but everything is always one-on-one. But you can bring your partner, obviously, that's fine. So that's how it works. You just drop me a message and I'll sort it out. It's all very the service is very personalized. There's no like you just book a appointment and you come. You just tell me what you need, and then we adapt for your needs and make sure you've got what you need. So yeah, that's how it works. And then after you go off with your hire, you can extend after that. I'll drop you a message after when the hire ends, and then you can keep on hiring for as long as you want. There's no time limit. So sometimes it's financially more viable to do that, especially with stretchy wraps, because you won't be using them for very long, than buying something. Or you can just keep on like hiring different slings, and yeah, whatever works for you. Basically, that's it. I hope that helps. Okay, cool. Any more questions? Because I'm going to go, because I've been talking for so long now. Feel free to ask in the comments anytime, or just drop me a message, but I think I will switch off now. Thank you very much for coming. I'm going to show you my kitten because he's really cute. Just to cheer you up a little bit. There you go. Thank you very much for joining, everybody. Have a lovely day, and stay safe. Bye.